Hey everyone, welcome back to Top 10 MOCs of the Week, the series where we take a look at the best MOCs or my own creations that I happen to come across on the internet. This past week people have been building a ton of awesome stuff again. Stay tuned until the end for all the MOCs that didn't make my personal top 10 list, but that I still wanted to show you guys. The links to all of these custom creations and builders can be found in the video description below, as well as the link to our newest addition to our web store, where we sell high quality PDF instructions to some incredible MOCs of our own. This week we added the amazing and very stutless V-Wing Starfighter designed by myself and heavily inspired by Thomas Jenkins' version. It comes in the Republic and Imperial colors and includes all three different landing variations we see across the media where the Starfighter appears in. But let's get right into this week's top 10. Starting off with 10th place, this is called Echoes of the Deep by builder Bao Build Hong Yoon. Apparently this build is the aftermath of an underwater war where the coral reef is reclaiming the war relics, and obviously in the center of all of this is the beautifully done mermaid knight and her armored seahorse. I have to say I really love the concept of this build, but how it was translated into Lego bricks is just awesome. There are so many Bionicle and Hero Factory parts used, I can't recall where the helmet and shoulder pieces are from or if they are custom parts. You guys please let me know in the comments. The golden seahorse does look very majestic, instantly recognizable, and I love that it gets that old metallic blue color as the armor. This works really well here and I think we're off to a good start with this one. Moving on next spot we have the RX-782 Gundam by builder Blackley Cat. We do have a Gundam in the store ourselves, so I think I can be a good judge here with this one, and I have to say this Gundam looks outstanding. It seems like it can stand without external supports, which is a feat on its own. The details here are amazing with all the snot work, meaning studs not on top to smooth out surfaces and make studs disappear. The head looks very accurately shaped. It seems to be movable as well, as the extremities do too. You can spot ball joints all over, which is always nice. What I like most about this model is a very minor but very effective detail, and it's the small V shape on the belt that was done here using a slope piece that you all recognize if I show you an image of it. The wedge tiles make perfect space around for it to fit through. Really creative way to getting a detail in here that most people would just use stickers for and call it a day. Great work on this one. On 8th place this week we have a build called Frankenstein's Monster by builder Jeff Mock. An absolutely huge depiction of the iconic character in an accurately scaled environment. The environment itself is already cool with all the potions in the back and a heart under a glass dome. There are candles that drip wax onto books, and my favorite detail in this room is the glass that the clumsy monster has shattered because he stepped on it. You gotta learn how his senses work first. The face of the monster does look very cool. It's missing pupils in the eyes, which looks extra eerie. The whole face looks very asymmetrical, which is a good thing in this instance. I like the little detail for his hair, and all the tubing and strings that wrap around his body to hold everything together is a nice touch. 7th on the list is the Pavilion of the Seaplane Association, a build by Ewoke Conan, probably pronounced that wrong. This was part of a history collab, and if this didn't reach at least top 3, I don't know what's happening. The building itself looks very medieval with the rough stonework on the walls. I like the use of all the macaroni pieces in light grey for the edges and arches. I like the use of handcuffs on the walls for texture and how the windows are inset quite a bit. The whole castle-like structure is standing on a cliff with ladders leading down into the water, and we have two seaplanes here as well that I think look really fitting here. I especially like the yellow one. I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to planes, but I can at least say I haven't seen this concept with the engine on top a lot. Really interesting. This build lives from its colors though, they all flow together really nicely and the composition here just looks good. Moving on to 6th place, we have a microscale build simply called Hilltop Cottage, which I think describes this pretty well. It seems like there's a theme going on in this week's top 10 with houses on top of mountains. Anyhow, this was built by Carter Riss and it makes really good use of stud offsets to give this landscape depth and layers. There are pine trees depicted all around. There's even a syringe inserted into an open stud here to depict a tree. Nice parts usage here. The cottage itself looks really cozy. The part for the smoke coming out the chimney seems like the perfect piece for it, because it's not a regular grey, it's a sort of half translucent color. The window shutters are open, depicted here with the ends of roller skate pieces, which is also the perfect use for this scale. Just a lovely little build that anyone would love to have on their desk. It doesn't always have to be big and scream at you with thousands of parts. The next build is screaming at you though, or at least it looks like it's pretty loud in the scene. This is a cool concept built by Stance by Lego, and it's simply called Gamer Rage, which seems fitting. I think this is supposed to be a mock best enjoyed from straight on to give it the feel of a two-dimensional painting, and it's the character Samus from Metroid absolutely losing it over a game of Nintendo. I love Samus myself, I used to play it on Game Boy Advance when I was a kid, so this really speaks to me. I like how dynamic this build looks, the chair is still in motion being thrown over, the TV shattering as we look at it, with a good use of an explosion element from, I believe, the Superheroes line. I like that the laser is going through the third wall into real life while breaking the picture frame. Really cool concept. 4 on the list is another building, but this time it seems to not be standing on a hill, but it's surrounded with a swampy pond. This mock is called Taiu Temple by Nakirai Bricks. This build is actually from 2024 and was built for a convention, but the builder was too lazy to post it and only did because he needed the rock parts for another build. So this mock probably doesn't exist anymore in this way. The more happy I am we get to share this experience here together. I don't think this is supposed to be any particular temple in real life, but I just love looking at Japanese style architecture. There's something so calming about it, underlined here of course with the pond and the meditating guru on the porch. I like the way the bridge is built using flex hoses for the railing. Bamboo is depicted with candle pieces not fully inserted into one another. Probably the best way I've seen to depict bamboo, works really nicely here. The pattern in the floor is excellent, extremely satisfying to look at. The foliage here and there is a nice touch, but I think among all of this I like the little bonsai tree the most. I would have loved to see this mock in person at a convention. Really good work. And on to top 3 with a collaborative effort by builders Zeb71 Lego, Lufo Brick, Gui Lego, Pistache Lego and Nicolapsology. This was built for a forum with the theme Candy, and I think they succeeded here. I might be biased because Haribo is a German company and I'm German myself, as one can hardly miss hearing, so I grew up with Haribo treats myself, so this speaks to my heart. The character build and the lettering is nice, but what really got to me is the candy itself. It's really not that complicated, but the presentation here with the context of the build makes this look so yummy. ABS plastic that just made my mouth water. If you achieved that, your build is a success. Build-wise, there's not too much to it. The licorice is just flex hosing curled up. There's a red bucket with a tile inside and a couple of hair pieces for the berries. The creativity is what this build lives from. On second place this week is again a beautiful Japanese style build called Tranquility by builder Building Connections Official. And the name says it all, this has some beautiful connections. First off, the road leaves me head scratching. I think this is a ton of 1x2 plates all bent a little to form a big curve. Super unconventional technique and I love the look of it. Throw some yellow tiles in it and voila, simple yet genius. Having yet enough space to insert the brick detailing into the wall is cool too. The bridge looks nice, we have a little waterfall in the front. I think the billboard is from the Monkey Kid line actually, it works great here. The trees are exceptionally well done, there's so much detail in the tree trunks with all sorts of hoses wrapped around themselves. Really flowy. I also like the touch of the leaves on the road. And for good measure, a hot air balloon above the scene that makes use of the relatively new big 4x4 Protodome parts and some nets and strings. Excellent composition. And to top it off, the crown this week goes to Bobby Lego Builds for their incredible depiction of the Exodia character from Yu-Gi-Oh! This was a challenge entry as well, and what way to make an entry. I grew up watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Myself, I used to collect the cards and all that, so this is also a nostalgic pick for me. If you're not aware what this is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a trading card game and this depicts one of the creatures from the game that you can only play if you have all 5 cards, each depicting one of his limbs to make one full Exodia. If you had that as a kid, you were the baddest motherfucker on the schoolyard. The photography here is so good that I thought this was a digital render at first, but you can see the window and the reflection of the shoulder parts. First off, the cards are super nicely done, instantly recognizable if you're a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, even without Exodia standing behind them. The use of color here works great. But the character, OMG, it looks so cool. The head is so epic. The build for the ornate details around the face is extremely well done. I would love to see the techniques used in here. Also, the shape for the body and the parts lining up to form it is super satisfying to look at. We also have that in his waist cape. This would have been a dream to own as a child, and still kinda is today, I'm not gonna lie. I think there isn't much to make this any better, to be honest. Exceptional work. And that wraps it up. I really enjoyed taking a look at these incredible custom creations this week again. As a Lego builder myself, it's always interesting to take a look at these and spot all the techniques and cool parts usages. Really glad this series is back and I'm able to make time for it again and get to co-host this for you. Again, stand by if you want to see what else I came across this week without my annoying commentary over everything. Just use some music and cool Lego MOCs. What better way to end your Tuesday, or start it if you're on the other side of the world. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and hit that subscribe button to not miss out on any future videos. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite out of these, and I'll catch you in the next one at BrickVault.